To understand the ego, we must look at the body as well, because the ego has its home within the body. The ego mind being a separate mind that is not part of one mind, a unified mind, the mind of creation. In truth, we all share part of that one mind. Our minds are all connected as one. But we don't see this because the ego mind is the belief that we are all separate from each other. And so the body was made to be a witness and the proof that this belief is true. And this is what this world is showing us, and what this body is showing us, that we are separate from each other. But we are not our bodies. And unless this is seen to be true within us, and it's not just a regurgitation of an idea that we have not actually experienced, then these words will seem difficult, and they will not be fully understood, nor yet fully believed. For the world of the ego mind has taught us we are the body, and because of this, we have learnt to value the body and to glorify it, thereby making it an idol to worship. But we can learn again another lesson from another teacher, and through this new understanding, we can learn that we are far more than what the ego mind has taught us. We are far more valuable, and we are far more powerful. Because to believe you are a body is to believe in its powerlessness. Because the body is weak, and it is vulnerable, and it is fragile, and it is going to disappoint us as it grows old, becomes sick, and eventually dies and returns to nothingness. But the truth is that the body does not die, because the body does not live. It is the spirit that has taken its home within the limits of the body that lives and has life. No one believes a car is alive just because we have entered into it and it moves at our command. And no one believes that it has died just because we have stepped out of it. We are the eternal life that is not physical but is spiritual and made of light, being the light within the mind of the Creator. For we are all surrounded by creation's light, and so we are within the light itself. Yet the ego mind sees itself separated from all of this that surrounds it, and does not see this light, and so the ego mind lives in darkness, which is forgetfulness. And so it is within this darkness that the ego has all its dreams, and all its dreams of fear and terror have their home. Within this darkness it builds its home and seeks for safety and happiness. But all it makes is but more illusions, more dreams. The ego's doctrine is this: follow your dreams and make your dreams come true, make them real. Yet who would follow dreams and want them to be real, but one who does believe that reality is not good enough and is not already perfect? The ego mind is making dreams that we think we want and need, yet all the dreams it makes can never be good enough because they are made outside of the light of reality and are made in darkness, where terrors and fears have their only home. But if you do believe you are a body, and everyone who has not yet experienced their true reality does believe in their body identity, then learning is but a process of unlearning first. What was taught to us that was false must be undone before truth can enter, because nothing is ever forced upon us against our will in reality. It is only within the illusion of the body that freedom has been lost, because the body has become a prison to those who have lost the knowledge of who they are, those who have simply forgotten their magnificence and their grandeur. We entered into these bodies and have become lost within the belief that they are our reality. The identity they hold for us will shape the kind of world we will see and believe in, and because belief and seeing come together, we will see a world as we have chosen it to be, but we will not know that it was of our own making. Having forgotten our true identity as beings of light, when we entered into our bodies, we have learned everything we think we know as real and true from a place of not knowing. For our teachers are also bodies, and they too entered into the world of forgetfulness. In this way it can be seen that error is judgment, for judgment means to not know, and so error is certain in this world. Having judged against ourselves first, we then judge against each other, and we have created a world that is fearful and full of lack, and is unjust. For many, this is the world that we are seeing now. For it was made of fear, and fear calls for hatred as a way to project outside the mind the guilt that separation from each other has produced within us, and so we look outside ourselves to see this guilt within another. For no one wants to see guilt within themselves, because guilt is hell. Yet we are the makers of our own hell, and until we are willing to look within ourselves first and face the illusions of guilt there, we will not be able to free each other from their guilt, and so we will be creating a future based on the past, one of terror and one of pain, where condemnation has its home. For the guilty do condemn only because they believe in condemnation, as they made condemnation within themselves first, whereas the innocent see only freedom and peace and joy. Until we see each other innocent, we will not be able to see the innocence within ourselves, for we are each other's saviours, being creations of a one Father, Mother, God, Creator, Source, and the world we see but reflects our own state of mind. It is knowledge that will set us free, knowledge of our own reality, not the knowledge of this world and the knowledge of illusions, for this is just education that is based on forgetfulness and not knowing, but the knowledge that exists within the mind of God, which is our own mind. Our mind is part of that. And so knowledge will set us free, and this way knowledge is powerful. By gaining access to this knowledge, the world we see outside ourselves will transform into a world that is blessed by love. When we recognize the innocence within ourselves, we will have recognized the innocence within each other, and it is innocence that calls for love, whereas guilt made of fear calls for hatred. So let us free ourselves and free the world of all the guilt and the hatred that was never true and never real, because it was just part of a dream, and we are not in truth the bodies in the dream. We are the dreamer, and to remember this is freedom.